Okay, so I'm feeling a little under the weather right now, but I didn't want to wait for this comparison after testing the new Chromebook Plus by Samsung compared to the Chromebook Plus Spin 714 by Acer. So which is the better option? Well, let's talk about it. As far as pricing goes, these two are definitely towards the top of pricing when it comes to Chromebooks. At $699 normally for both, but the Acer Chromebook is on sale for $599. But I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information. You've also got 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage for both. You can also use a micro SD card on the Samsung Chromebook. The display sizes are a little bit different at 14 inches for Acer versus 15.6 inches for Samsung. Both are 1080p resolution. One advantage for Acer is you have touchscreen, and it's a 2-in-1, so you can flip it or fold it flat to use like a tablet, where Samsung is more of a traditional style laptop with no touchscreen. But if you're using these just like normal laptops, I would give the edge to Samsung with its AMOLED display. It's a little brighter, has a little better viewing angles, makes the colors a little more vibrant, and just looks really nice in person. Not that the IPS LCD display on the Acer Chromebook is bad, it's just when you put these next to each other, Samsung definitely looks a little better. When it comes to battery life on these two, there's a lot of variables. They both have pretty good battery life considering how large the screens are. The Samsung Chromebook lasted about 7.5 hours in my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness versus about 8.5 hours for the Acer Chromebook. Now, software-wise, these two are going to be very similar. One advantage for Acer is it gets software updates for 10 years versus 8 years for Samsung. They both also have Gemini AI features. Obviously, it'll come down to how you plan on using your Chromebook, but as far as software goes, as long as you know the limitations there are with Chrome OS versus something that has Windows, I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Both of these Chromebooks definitely feel a little more high-end as far as build quality. With Samsung, you have a full HDMI port, 2 USB-C ports, a micro SD card slot, USB-A port, and a headphone jack. With Acer, you have 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports, a full-size HDMI port, 1 USB-A port, and a headphone jack as well. Even though the Galaxy Chromebook is larger, it's actually thinner and lighter at 2.58 pounds versus 3.21 for Acer. To me, the Samsung Chromebook definitely feels a little more modern, a little more sleek than the Acer. The keyboard and trackpad on the Galaxy Chromebook is actually really nice. It's larger. There's plenty of space to rest your hands on. It's actually really comfortable to type on. I did notice with the Acer Chromebook, the keys have a little bit more travel. It actually feels a little softer though when you're typing. Not quite as stiff as Samsung. Samsung actually reminds me of their keyboards for their tablets, where there's just not much travel for the keys. Of course, that'll be personal preference. The other thing I noticed is the backlit keys on Samsung are quite a bit brighter than on the Acer Chromebook. I do wish the Samsung keyboard was a lighter gray color like on Acer, because I feel like black just gets dirty way too fast and it's just harder to keep looking clean. Both of these have pretty good performance for most things that you would need to do on a Chromebook. You've got an Intel Core Ultra 5 processor in the Acer Chromebook versus Intel Core 3 with Samsung. You would think you'd get better performance with Acer, but just looking at the Geekbench results, Samsung actually has a better single core and GPU performance as well. Just moving around the software, doing most day-to-day things though, I don't feel like you're gonna notice a difference. And then when it comes to gaming, you would think the Acer Chromebook would be a little better because it has touchscreen and you can fold it like a tablet, which yeah, it does make it a little easier to do full screen. But for games like Asphalt Legends Unite, I couldn't even get it to load to where I could play the game. And on PUBG Mobile, I couldn't actually test it to play a game. I assume because it's an emulated version versus the Android version. But to me, I don't really feel like Chromebooks are the best option when it comes to gaming. But in this case, I actually had better luck with the Samsung Chromebook, but it's definitely more of a struggle versus using an Android tablet. Now the speakers on the Galaxy Chromebook are downward facing versus on the top for Acer, so definitely an advantage for Acer because it's much easier to hear things. And with the Samsung Chromebook, the sound may be a little bit muffled depending on what you set the Chromebook on. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what they sound like.
Fade fade away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
When it comes to camera quality, I can't say either of these are that great when comparing them to a lot of tablet cameras that I've tested recently, but Acer does have a slight advantage with 1440p resolution versus 1080p for Samsung. Another advantage for Acer is you have the camera cover for privacy, which you don't get with Samsung. I feel like you could use either one of these for Zoom meetings or other video conference calls as long as you have good lighting. But here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what to expect. So as you can see, there's quite a few things to think about with both of these Chromebooks. I feel like it's harder than I thought it would be to choose between these two, but it may come down to personal preference and how you plan on using your Chromebook. On one hand, with Acer, it seems to have more features, like being able to fold it, flip it over. It's got touchscreen, also has pen support, but with Samsung, it's got really nice build quality, a brighter screen, brighter backlighting on the keys, and probably has one of the nicer displays you'll find on a Chromebook. Plus, it's a little larger as well. So let me know down below on which Chromebook you would go with, or if there's another Chromebook I should be considering. If you like tablets, phones, and other tech, I've got a lot more stuff that I'm working on, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.